last game for the champions.
Melbourne's victory dance with a touch of flair.
We are champions and we are champions!
New champions of a new breed from the sport which has stormed into the spotlight.
Your champions, Melbourne victory!
The script seemed far-fetched, but it was every bit a reality. This had blockbuster status. The crowd of nearly 56,000 was the biggest to ever watch a game of domestic soccer in the country.
Maybe this is the chance. Fred, through, Archie Thompson! Goal!
More times than not, they were on their feet, cheering on the main act, star striker Archie Thompson. Unimaginable, we know, but he scored 5 times.
Fred in, Archie Thompson! Thompson again, Archie Thompson! This could be a fourth for Archie Thompson! It's Thompson!
I was speaking to Danny Alsop, and he mentioned a couple of weeks ago that there was a place that I should visit. And today I visited, and I think it was called The Zone.
The ultimate victory ignited one massive party in a city starved of that premiership taste for the past 3 years. Most were well behaved. 3 people were arrested while 41 were ejected.
Oh, not too shabby. We've only just won 6-0. But, yeah, look, it's an occasion that we're never going to forget, and it's important that we enjoy it tonight.
They did. There was plenty to toast. The silverware became the must-have accessory for those sporting the latest fashion. But the celebrations were subdued for the unflappable coach, Ernie Merrick.
I'm the party pooper. I left early with my family, but I think they would go well into the night. But I'm glad I left early now. I don't have a hangover.
Those who did still made it into the city to soak up the adulation from the diehards.
Blue and White Brigade.
Couldn't ask for more, mate. It was just phenomenal.
In Adelaide, seemingly bitter, they reneged on the bet to fly our flag over their state parliament. It hasn't fazed our premier.
Is anyone in doubt about Melbourne being the sporting capital of the world? If they are, they should have watched last night.
Instead, everyone can reminisce memories of that night when these heroes had licence to do whatever they wanted. Dylan Howard, 7 News.
Merrick has conceded grand final hero Archie Thompson will become hot property on the world soccer market following his dominant individual performance. Thompson scored 5 goals in the 6-0 victory, which left Adelaide looking and sounding like the sorest of losers. The match was beamed into the heart of football, Europe, and the architect of the 6-0 whitewash knows his gun striker has attracted attention.
For one person to score 5 goals, I'm sure he's going to catch the attention of other clubs, and then we're going to have to beat them off with a stick.
The Reds limped home today looking like bad losers. Still bitter, they've blamed the referee.
And get the 3 blind mice, could have done a better job out there tonight.
Refereeing was a little bit disappointing.
It's just not good enough if this league wants to go on. We have to start looking at getting better officials.
That outburst has earned a please explain.
The referee did what he wanted to do, and basically Melbourne at that stage were too good for us.
We were. Fred and Thompson dazzled, and when Thompson left the field with a bag of 5, even his replacement was unstoppable.
Sarkis, Christian Sarkis, that is perhaps the pick of the bunch.
Melbourne's secret motivation has been revealed to be Essendon champions Matthew Lloyd and James Hird. Both were in the change rooms before the match.
And Hirdy spoke to them, the team, before the semi-final about what they can expect in finals, because not many of them had really played in the big time.
Adelaide will now focus on the Asian Champions League, which starts next month, while Melbourne will fend off Thompson admirers, as Melbourne's A-team dreams of the double.
We're going to hold on to all our top players, hopefully, but inevitably you've got to change and add to your squad. You've got to innovate.
Won the grand final after earlier predicting he'd score a hat-trick.
I was speaking to Danny Alsop, and he mentioned a couple of weeks ago that there was a place that I should visit. And today I visited, and I think it was called The Zone.
It'll never, ever happen again in the grand final where someone does what he's done tonight.
Christian Sarkis rounded off the remarkable 6-0 result with a goal in injury time.
Sarkis, Christian Sarkis, that is perhaps the pick of the bunch.
I was actually watching Tim Cahill's goal against Japan in the World Cup, and it hit the post and went in. So I tried to do sort of what he did.
The match wasn't without controversy. Adelaide was incensed after officials took no action against Muscat's early challenge on Diego.
We felt we were harshly done by. I think the three blind mice could have done a better job out there tonight. How can they get away with basic mistakes every week and then come out and get big games again? It's just a disgrace.
United skipper Ross Aloisi also added his opinion after being sent off for receiving 2 yellow cards.
Unfortunately, the game was destroyed earlier on in the piece.
Action is likely to be taken against the Reds for the post-match outbursts.
At best, it was poor sportsmanship. At worst, it was sort of almost park-like behaviour. We expect a lot more from professional athletes.
Thompson's fourth goal appeared to be clearly offside, but the victory was making no apologies.
Regardless of all that, sometimes you've got to admit that the better team won, and thankfully we were on the better team tonight.
And coach Cosmina saved one parting shot for Melbourne.
Melbourne are on holidays now. We're actually in the Champions League because we achieved something last season as well.
Fortunately for the victory, they'll have a trophy to accompany them on their end-of-season trip. Christian Jansen, World News Australia.
But there was no hiding the euphoria surrounding the club's first premiership.
This is a victory party that is sure to span several days. More than 1,000 gathered at Federation Square to celebrate a 6-0 win, which is sure to dominate the A-League's record books for years to come.
What's happened in Melbourne is unbelievable, and we're actually at the top. We're at the top, and let's stay there.
When Ernie Merrick arrived for his post-match media conference soaked in champagne, it was clear some serious celebrations were about to start.
In Scotland, we prefer to drink alcohol, not pour it over each other.
The Melbourne faithful partied as hard as their heroes last night. The loudest cheers were reserved for Archie Thompson after his incredible 5-goal performance. His captain says it's a record that will never be beaten, while Thompson concedes it was a perfect night.
He mentioned a couple of weeks ago that there was a place that I should visit, and today I visited it, and I think it was called The Zone.
Adelaide arrived home today with their confidence shattered as their feud with the referees continues.
We felt we were harshly done by. I think the three blind mice could have done a better job out there tonight.
Sometimes you've got to admit that the better team won, and thankfully we were on the better team tonight.
But Adelaide coach John Cosmina couldn't resist one last shot at the Premiers as United prepares to play in the Asian Champions League.
Melbourne are on holidays now. We're actually in the Champions League because we achieved something last season as well.
Given the victory's appearance today, it's probably just as well Melbourne's season is over. Matt Brown, ABC News, Melbourne.